Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? So good to see you on this here Tuesday. And wherever you are, we just speak favor over you. We say it here all the time. I say it all the time. It manifests in my life all the time, but I speak favor over us all. Favor is where you always are favorable to everyone you meet. Nothing missing, nothing broken is as best as paradise can be. It's peace of an ultimate level. So that's what we speak to you, and we mean it sincerely. So thank you for tuning in. This is a second look, and my good, beautiful co-host, Miss Trina Phoenix. How you, dear?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Wayne?
Doing exceptional. I am unique among the uniquenesses. And I see Jenny is listening. So
Hey,
hey. Jenny, we can hear you. I'm sure we'll get in tune to see you. But I just want to say again, thank you, ladies. This is the favorite day of the week for me. I enjoy this, and it's always fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the mind coitus, and we balance off each other in the masculine and the feminine. We do have different ways of seeing the world, so it's so beautiful. We learn from each other.
We do. Jenny, you look like a golden goddess. I got two golden goddesses here. How favorable am I, dudes? Yeah, I know there's a lot of you dudes going, man, hey, Grandpa Brian, I haven't seen you in a while, brother. Good to see you. I mean, I know there's some of you dudes out there going, how did this guy get this? It's just favor. No way in the world you could try to get this. And it's always good when it happens el natural.
Funny too, Wayne. We're all wearing black, and you got the peacetime flag.
I do.
That's crazy. I'm like, we're all wearing black, and you have the peacetime flag. I'm like, that's good.
I mean, we got it going on. Yeah, I mean, I'm just, we're psychically connected, It's that expression.
We're working in that space.
It's like, get out of my head, man. It's like, so Jenny, how are you doing, my dear?
Good. I'm keeping real busy, building from, really bringing that energy inward. The world's going crazy, and I refuse to go crazy with it. So just grounding like a pro. I'm like a wrestling pro. I'm like Hulk Hogan in his day at grounding right now. Yeah, I'm like, give me that. Give me that.
I like Rowdy Router, Hulk was all right, but Jenny, when I was thinking about a title for today, the word I had this morning was tenacious as a bulldog. If you meet a junkyard bulldog and they got a bone, you could cut that dog's head off. It ain't gonna let go of that bone. That's tenacity.
Yeah.
So what do y'all two think about, I put this out today, and we'll see if it could be potentially something that could be a grassroots, if everyone would spread it. I don't go to on Facebook, but if you do, I think we ought to make November 11th, 2023, a YouTube Day of Peace for all mankind. And that if every channel that would put information up, if they would dedicate on November 11th, that their show would be about peace for all mankind, all of humanity. And if we could get the same thing going viral in Facebook and all the other media platforms, yesterday I expressed my frustration that we could not get the unity factor. So I was meditating about it, talking to my higher self, walking amongst the gods. And, abracadabra, we create what we speak.
Yes.
And there is so much pain, so much anger that I thought, could we pull off a miracle here?
Yes.
Could we start something viral? Everyone that's listening to this program, you have what, at least 10 other social media contacts? If you were to contact those 10 and say, listen, November 11th, every YouTube channel you subscribe to, write to them and task them to make that day a day of a program for peace for all humanity. And if the 10 that you contact their 10, I think we could do this. I think this would show up on the mainstream, lamestream media.
Oh, it might not show
Yeah.
up on their media, but it would go through. It'll definitely go through. Once you put that out, Wayne, it's kind of already done. There's so many of us that are willing to
Yeah.
hear these cries from the other souls on this planet. And all you need to do is hear it, and it's been heard. You spoke it. So we'll keep spreading and speaking the word, and it'll manifest. Even 30 people praying for peace will affect a war. So
Yeah, didn't the Abraham God say that he would
would?
spare Sodom and Gomorrah if there was one righteous person?
Yes.
I mean, and meaning that if there was just one has a great influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely. And I thought the way
I
we're all
mean,
spread out all over the world, it's so powerful because that connects the chains. Literally, we cross oceans to each other's hearts.
Yes, we
It's a
do. We
beautiful
do it on
thing.
this show all the time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
You know, the synchronicities that happen in this group. Wow. Some could say it's spooky,
I know.
but it is so true. Jenny, what you got? I can feel something on your
yeah.
mind there.
I think I'll do one of the videos. I think I'll do in preparation is actually a meditation alongside the trees, because like Trina's just said, it was when Trina said, you know, we'll cross through, you know, through the etherical threads that we hold together, we'll cross oceans. And that's very, very true. And the trees, I brought it up last week, so they've really been on my mind about the electricity thing, which I've seen more of, and it's amazing. But also the fact that I've said that these are the original internet. You know, they hold the mycelium hold them, and they literally, trees give signals and messages as to what they need and how they're doing across oceans. They've been proven to be the original internet. So I think really honing into that too, you know, a meditation alongside a tree that people can mimic, enjoy, and add on to send those messages, not just through the etherical, but through the electrical.
I'm going to do the same thing. I have acres of beautiful white and red oak trees. So, and by the way, Go, it was 10, not just one, it was 10. There had to be 10. So this group here keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Like the midget that went into the men's room.
Just because we like to dance.
Do you get it?
It's
the midget that goes into the restroom. He has to stand on his toes.
When things are on a roll, aren't they? Yeah. You get too women.
Just, you know, it's just one of those things, man.
my brain going off into consciousness.
It's like, well, what the hell was that about, Steiger? You guys keep your eye on the road, man. People getting hurt back there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get it back there. All right.
Yeah.
But no, Jenny, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, these oaks, they're mighty spirits. I mean, they really are.
The originals, the originals that we can track back to, that and the mycelium, which you did a video on, and I saw a whole vision of the mycelium as you were talking. But that and the mycelium, the original, they actually came from the sea, as some of the writings you were reading last week, you know, went towards. So they came from the sea, and it was the mycelium, as far as we can track back to, that's why in the churches and stuff, they wear the mushroom hats because they know that they are the original connectors, the connectors to the third eye, connectors to the linear realms, you know, connectors to those back rooms. So they know, so they all wear the mushroom hats and pay homage, you know, in the various different shapes of hats that they wear. And half of the Bible is in code reference to it. You know, you go on a trip, don't you? So, and magic things happen.
You
So
do?
I think this feels really good. I just feel as you spoke it, I just feel like I needed that. I needed that to think about and act on. That's really good.
We've
It's a
got to do
good.
something, and it may be just a small gestures, but I know this.
It's
I
not
don't
small.
know.
No.
It'll be huge.
It's the biggest gesture I think right now that you could do. This is the thing. We're battling chaos
Mhm.
versus calm. So the thing is how do you get calm? You find peace. Th- This is a battle of our mind, of our consciousness. And of course, they're promoting fear, fear, fear. And they're giving us really serious things to be afraid of. So this is
Yeah.
a battle of consciousness. How strong can you stand in peace amidst chaos? This is the battle. And this is why they're doing so much fear, because this is what they need. Because if they can't subdue us with fear, they know they're going to lose.
See, I know that there is a peace that surpasses understanding.
Understanding, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I felt that.
And, if everyone again, and everyone in the chat room, hello, Brandon Ballot. Brand just had a birthday, 27.
Happy birthday.
I tell you
Happy
what, I
birthday.
remember when I was 27.
Yeah.
We were
Well,
gods,
do you remember? Do
indestructible.
you remember much of it?
What did Bob Seger sing? I was a rock, but anyway, I digress. But again, if we could just get people to spread this, I mean, we're on the verge, and this is like you were saying, Trina, they're really amplifying the fear. I mean, these archons who are feeding off of this, I mean, holy crap. I mean, it
Oh,
must be like feeding time at the pig trough.
it
Oh,
is.
they're
It feels
falling
like
down.
yeah,
It
it
does,
feels
doesn't
like
it?
a horrible banquet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
And we're on the menu.
uncontrolled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sons of bitches. I
very
mean,
much so. Salted
they're
and
just
peppered.
jacking with us,
Yeah.
And
But that's
I
where the peace that passes all. And sorry, Wayne.
no, that's
Go
right,
on.
hon.
The peace that passes all understanding. The times I've found that the most personally have been times when I've been on the operating table and it's been touch and go as to how I come out of that operation. They've been the major times alongside some others, but they've been the major times of where I can manage and have managed in that fear of what if and about Abby at the time, because I just had her, all of those fears building such a crescendo that I was able to bring it down, like taking the plug out, and feel that peace that surpasses all understanding. So I think that's a positive thing to say today as well, that we tend to find in this dualistic realm anyway, that magic does come out of chaos, and we need sometimes to have chaos to cause such magical things to happen, the opposite of things to happen. For some reason, a lot of humans need to get to that space, and because we've got such generational victimhood now with real victims, it's like we've been at this fear that we've been incrementally increasing in our immune systems. So, but it's at a point now where people are at their fill, and so that's a positive thing right now, that it's usually at those times for me personally. So I don't see why it wouldn't be that on a wider scale, of when the worst fears are creeping in, when the worst chaos seems to be creeping in. I think that's a real window of possibility for peace that surpasses all understanding. I think it's that opposite energy. There's a window of it that we can enter into in the worst of times. People feel it before death, the fear of death, and then all of a sudden there's this peace. And it's like going into that death realm and into that peaceful dark space, and recognizing that all seems against us, but actually, is that not a positive right now as well for the peace day?
You have to exert effort. I mean, I look back at Lynn in our marriage. The toughest times is when we bonded the closest together.
That's it.
And it is those bonds that transcend even the fabric of time. I mean, we're stronger on that because we know we endured this and we came out victoriously.
Yeah.
I think we can do the same thing here. I mean, war is the consciousness, the collective consciousness at the moment. I think we can be the resistance of that. And resistance means you have to put forth effort.
Yes.
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 I mean, I don't think that this is going to come easy.
No,
Yeah.
it's not as much effort as the fear fueling side are putting in, which is a lot right now. They're incorporating AI, they're incorporating media, you know, in the psychological war of whose side is good and whose side's bad. They're putting a lot of money, effort, and time into it, and alchemy into it. So we do need to start having a resolve. That's the word that came to me when you were speaking about your word of the day. Resolve as well, of how many times do we find that resolve to just push through an energy or push through a difficult situation. Resolve is a really sacred space to get into as well, so we do need to have the resolve to put as much and a little bit more effort in back.
And I just had this thought, you know, this group, if we do this, really get behind this, and y'all really do this, reach out to 10 people, 10 different channels. Listen, it was strange as you were talking, Jenny, you know, it would take one celebrity like a Taylor Swift. She's really is, you know, an influencer, someone on that level, that if they get behind this, then it becomes, you know, back in the day when they had those stupid challenges, you know, what was it? The ice bucket challenge or something. I mean, that went viral to over 1 billion people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just the thing is we're a small niche of society, and
we're a niche, all right.
this will spread through our communities like wildfire, and that's kind of like, seriously, they keep showing me you don't understand the smallness of the greatness of what you do, because the smallest things are going to produce the greatest effect, like a butterfly effect, like the butterfly's wings in China creates, you know, a tsunami over here on the other side. This is what it's
Moody
doing.
Blues have it, you know, it has the force of 10 billion butterfly sneezes.
Yes, it's true. So it's like these small acts that they seem small, but they're really not, guys. And they're manifesting in such a big way. And this is why I keep hearing the message. You guys need to realize you've already won. It's just going to take time, and it's going to be the process now of it catching up. So that could take time. But every
Soul Tribe, man, I need to say this. Listen, we can do this. We can actually put forward something, and I don't want any credit for this. I don't want any credit. My trust is that this could really go viral. The world, it's crazy, ladies, and you know it. I mean, it's like dancing in a minefield.
Yeah.
It's like, no matter which step you take, there's potentially an explosion there. And I said, this is insanity. So we need that miracle. We need that miracle moment. I mean, I for some reason always think of Michael Jackson, what he did, and the plight of the African people, you know, and look what happened to that. It raised the awareness level, and whether it lasted or not is not what's important. It was the same effect that Woodstock had at the middle of the Vietnam War here, where the world was getting a proxy war is what Vietnam was. And listen, there was nothing beautiful about the peace and love movement. It was a lot of hate. It was a lot of damage. But in the midst of that, we found that common denominator. In this case, it was music. Maybe it could be music again.
Yeah, it has to be. It's frequency.
You know, that's so weird you just said that, Wayne. I heard that so loud this morning, that each of us is a song. Each one of us is a song. And when we're in Discord, it sounds horrible because the orchestra is broken. You know, it's not working properly. But when you work on your internal song and you set your vibration where is your true vibration, your body literally produces a sound, a song. And if all of us could just focus on our sound of our body and resonate and imagine us connecting an orchestra of sound and producing the most beautiful music you've ever heard in your life. They're saying that's like a huge tool to manifest what we would like to see.
As you were talking, I have my guitar over here, and it's like learning a new chord.
Yes.
Because if I can learn a new chord, then I can incorporate it and it becomes a song.
Yes. Yes.
And then I love this. It's certainly better than what is being inundated out there right now. I mean,
we keep focusing on love and light, but nobody's focusing on the sound. And the sound is the foundational point for creation. It starts with a vibration, and that is sound.
38 special, when love makes a sound, dear, you know.
Yes.
When love makes a sound, dear, you know.
We need to sound this into existence, sound it through our bodies, resonating with that sound that's unique to you. There's no one like you, and your sound is so precious. So if we share our
One of the
sound,
things my wife says she loved about me was that I always sang. Whether I was doing the dishes, cleaning the toilets, whatever, I was out there, you know, always singing. You know, it's like,
Yes.
I mean, Jenny, what song would you like to hear on the jukebox? You know,
you know what? I'm terrible because I love music, but I can never remember a name of any band or a song. I just love them when they come on. So I can rock out to some, you know, metal, and then I can rock out to some R&B, and then I rock out to something from the 80s. So I really just love music. I find it hard not to love music. So yeah, you could put anything on for me and I'll make it work. So you see, that's me.
That's what I love about this group.
My brother can name every artist he likes, every song. I don't care, I'll dance to whatever.
Yeah, I don't play that game either. I'm not good.
No,
name that artist. I'm like, I'm not good at that game.
Like, okay, change in the
I love that.
I know the song though, but I don't know who it is.
How is everyone in the?
When I was getting up on stage, when I was dancing for a job, when I was getting up on stage, I was the only dancer who would say to the DJ, "You just choose." So I never knew what was coming on for me to start dancing to, and I would just go with it. It would work, so you know. And most of the time, they were pretty kind. So they would just choose the song, and I would move when it came on. So yeah, because
so I want to bring this out. Did y'all realize 11, 11, 23 totals 9?
Wow, completion. And remember, Wayne, when the Lord popped the world and I saw the new earth, and remember I told you that was the first thing I heard was it had a sound of a song. It was the most beautiful song I'd ever heard. And it was because it was just one octave above where we're already existing. So it was a song that shifted.
Did you know, Trina, by the way, one of my Bible teachers showed this, that when Adam, supposedly the story, that when he was here, that the firmament actually sang. It was, and he could touch it and it would cause a vibration, and that vibration was a tone. Wow. And it said that
everything does. If you put speakers on mycelium, on mushrooms, on a lettuce leaf, they create a tone, a sound. And they can actually change that tone and sound. Everything makes sound. Everything.
You just told me whatever we do, we need to integrate our favorite music. Like whatever we do for that day to promote peace, it's integrate music. It's that simple. They're like, just pick your favorite music and resonate with that, and that will open up your sound. I was like, wow, okay, cool. That's easy.
Yeah, I'm right there. I mean, I always think of Marvin Gaye, you know?
Yeah.
Brother, brother, brother. Anyway, but I mean, I love soul music, you know. The best thing I ever had at the state home, you know, was my roommate, James. He was black, but he introduced me to the Temptations. I mean, yeah. This
Yeah.
white boy got some soul, sister. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what color the soul may be, but I can tell you mine dances. That's all I can tell you. And when it dances, it starts exactly. It starts this whole, you know, evolution and revolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happening in the chat room? I mean, so are we getting behind this idea? Has anyone been kind of
they were
monitoring?
talking, use your mouth, use tuning forks. I was like, genetically modified, perfect. I was like, that's exactly it. Any way that you can sound in this world and put sound into this world is going to be huge. And if we add that to our intentions for peace and healing and all those wonderful feelings that the beautiful music produces in your body, we will affect the vibration of the planet for sure. And guys, it doesn't take that many of us.
No.
One that's strongly anchored in these higher vibrations. The earth actually wants to attrain. It's organically natural, just like our hearts, we attrain to each other. The earth attrains to us.
It does.
When we get into a good heart resonance of peace and love and joy, it literally does affect the entire world. And it does not take that many of us to make that change.
Yeah,
I love this group. What's that, Jenny? Jenny, did we lose you?
I'm just agreeing with Trina. Absolutely. Oh no, I'm still here. I was talking away. I'm agreeing with Trina. Just absolutely. I've said for so long that, you know, the climate thing, I feel that it's multi-layered, and that effect takes the physical effect on the actions of those that might be causing things that harm while saying something else through climate manipulation and stuff. It affects that, and then it affects the other layer of the consciousness of the weather itself, because I feel that all of the fear over the climate, and I said it in videos ages ago, that we have such a strong consciousness, and we are organically hooked in, whether we know it or not, like Trina says, to where we live, to where we are. I feel that we also draw in that weather. So we're having lots of flooding right now. This country has heard nothing but fears of flooding for years now. And all of a sudden this flooding's happening, and I think it's multi-layered. I think some of it's manipulation, but also the rest of it is consciousness. Literally, the weather is saying yes to whatever a lot of people are thinking about. So we've had terrible floods here just yesterday, people's homes ruined. I feel that our
y'all been. I didn't know about this. So what's happening in your area in the weather?
We've just had huge amounts of rain from nowhere, and there's been terrible floods in Aberdeenshire. There's been loss of life of about 7 people in Aberdeenshire. Really violent, and then some further down south, I think. But you know, devastation for sure. Really lethal. And then we haven't been hit badly. It's we're in the middle, but yeah, really quite bad. But we've heard nothing but fear about flooding happening. Flood. And I really feel
the world's on the brink of nuclear war, and on top of that, you're experiencing devastating flooding. That's just crazy.
Devastating. And our government has done something sneaky, because there's 2 insurances the government has to give out. And that is the UK government would pay for flooding when it's in a crisis point, and also for a terrorism act. So say your house got bombed in a terrorism act, they would pay to replenish you or rehouse you. The flooding insurance has quietly gone away during COVID. And so people are going to have even more devastation next week when they find that out, when they start ringing the insurance companies. So it's real multi-layered devastation. So I think, like Trina was saying before, we would have that effect on those multi-layers.
That's trauma. That's
farmers dredging river.
Yeah, I mean, it's
when you see these people's faces, they were like being interviewed, and one woman, if I was her nurse, I would have had her wrapped up warm in bed with a hot water bottle because she was in shock. You could see she was having like this out of body experience trying to talk to this reporter. And when he's saying, what are you going to do? She's just like, I don't know. I don't know. And literally the realization was still coming over her as to what she was homeless now. And there was no help that there should have been. So yeah, it's been.
So Jenny, as you were talking, my mind is replaying the tapes, and I remember the Blitzkrieg of Nazi Germany on their storm of fire on the people of London, particularly back in World War II, where I read a paper on this, that the trauma that was inflicted upon that generation is that they carried that trauma forward, but there was never no counselors. There was no one there to console. Everybody was experiencing it. The horror of nighttime when the bombs would come and everyone is sheltering in that. You know, we're one step away from that happening now. And I don't know, we have a platform where we can communicate to people. They didn't. And this is what I'm trying to say. This is that miracle of saying we can prevent this. There has to be an alternative. I cannot believe that the future is set. I just refuse to accept that. I may be a fool, you know.
Yeah.
No,
you're not.
What I see, Wayne,
they just want you to think that it absolutely is.
Yeah.
Have I lost you?
No, we can hear you, honey. You're just a little, it's a little buffering issue. That's all.
What I see with that, Wayne, is that this is, you're right, but you're not right.
I can accept that.
The collective that believe in the script, many of them will run it.
Yeah.
See, the difference is that might end to the demise of them. So the ones that might be left might be the ones that didn't buy the script. And this is the future outcomes that I see on my timelines, is the majority of the people that are left through these transitions will be the ones that were aware that the transitions were coming. The ones that do not know how to deal with these, do not know the truth of our reality, do not know the truth of how money works, how the world is truly operating. They're just going to go along with the script. But many of these might even just be fill-ins. They don't even possess a lot of soul. You know, they're fill-ins for our matrix. But we're transitioning this planet right now, and it's in our whole universe. It's not just Earth. So we're coming.
Isn't that? Can I just give a shout out to Ben Davidson? Y'all just, and if you're not part of Suspicious Observance, it's well worth to make that part of your kind of daily intake. But he did a program yesterday, and it's here. We are in the middle of here. And what I mean by that is he pointed out every planet now, even our star, is being affected. These are changes. And if what we're seeing in the gas giants, and now we're seeing on Mars, if this is what's coming at us, then the Earth is about to shake, rattle, and roll.
Yeah, it's going to. And that's what I'm telling you. They're going to use these natural cycles to try to manipulate the herd into the directions they want. But I really do think that this is going to be a resistance that they have never seen before, because too many people are actually awake. And when a lot of people are this is where we're going to see the bifurcation will be through this war. That's going to last multiple years. This isn't going to be a fast thing. So we're going to see a layering of the division of the consciousness of the planet based on the bifurcation and the two timeline splits. And eventually it will pop apart. But that's when we're going to see, in my timelines, I see a lot less people, but I see a much more peaceful, organic, living Earth. And we're having to relearn everything, because everything changes with this energy. Wayne, I don't know if our electricity systems are going to work anymore. I don't know if anything is going to work anymore, because it's going to change that dramatically in the physics. So I'm seeing a potential with that.
Yeah, and there's where I am just so, contorted in my spirit, is that, would you sacrifice however many lives if you knew that their sacrifice would lead to a day where maybe we as humans could really live with one another in peace. And, it grieves me. I cry. I physically cry at times because either each of our lives truly count for something.
Yes.
And I can't see where one human life being sacrificed for anything is worth it.
It's not.
I just can't accept that.
I
I was a bigoted, just a Christian. I proclaim love, but I would hate you and I wouldn't give a fuck who cared. But I would have the comforting blanket knowing that, well, Jesus had to forgive me. And it was an environment of, I come out of the prosperity. So if you were poor, well, you were somehow not faithful enough. You didn't have enough faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should put some more of that money that you haven't got. You should tithe some more. That's what it is.
I mean, and I left that. I am today, I may be a heathen. I may be, a heretic. I don't care. But you know what? I like myself.
Yeah.
I really do.
You can look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. I start laughing.
You can look at yourself in the mirror.
Because I go, what a journey.
Yeah, because it's clean.
Yeah.
And that's
so
a miracle.
It's deep on my heart. And boy, I just can't, I can see it. We all see it. That's the problem. We all see what's heading this way. And I am, and you're probably reeling like I am inside going, no, but we're not the ones with the hands on the buttons, are we?
No, that's what I mean. We're all going for a ride, but where you vibrate and the song that your soul is singing is going to determine where you land. So amidst the chaos, it's so funny if you can laugh at chaos and say, now I'm going to take this chaos and I'm going to put it into a sunflower. I'm going to plant a new tree. You don't buy their thing about, oh, it's all ending. No, I'm going to plant stuff and I'm going to keep doing and growing and evolving my consciousness because this is my experience. This is my planet. And you can't control the world, but you can control your immediate surroundings. And
Dolores Cannon, she just had a tape or a video out here recently where she said that, we're going through this bifurcation, as you pointed out, Trina, that there is this higher state, but something is now moved in that's trying to resist that.
Oh, that's always been here. It's just on overdrive right now. It's just getting really strong.
Son of a bitch.
But that's the evidence that we're winning. See, because polarity
there you go.
is in effect. You can't undo that shit. Cause and effect is real. So the more light we are anchoring, the harder the dark is going to manifest and squirm like a little serpent. So yeah, we're dealing with this, and the light is coming in. Why do you think at the eclipse they were firing rockets at the sun? They're trying to kill the sun. They're trying to kill our
That's such logic. I mean, yeah. Well, I guess you get the
makes sense. They have to destroy the light because they know it's their demise. It's so crazy. And this is universal, Wayne. This is, like I said, not just about Earth. This is our whole universe is going through this transition. And
if you believe in the inner world, that there's a light that's down there that the Earth produces.
Yes, just like the spark in our heart. It's the identical mini me. It's a macro micro. It's the same thing. You have the same thing in your heart as the Earth has in her heart. It's identical.
Oh, when you were just speaking of that, I used to do a lot of spelunking, enjoyed it until I almost drowned. But then I became claustrophobic every time. Every freaking time. The water was right up to here. And oh man, anyway. But the thing is that your eyes become so acclimated to the darkness. And it's interesting because dark has depth. It has perception. I mean, you may not be able to see a damn thing, but you can almost feel it.
Yes.
And then as you go back up to the surface, if you're doing, with letting the light come in naturally, you can begin to see that light, from quite a distance. So anyway,
That's
Jenny,
such a
what are you,
great
you're quiet there,
definition.
dear.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening. You know what? I think it's really great to be here right now. I think it's wonderful that we can talk in a way that makes me feel more relaxed, because part of my worry has been it's all love and light. The spiritual world has been psyopsed just as much as the religious realm, and that actually created a narcissistic peace and light and love that people weren't able to or willing to acknowledge and observe the energies that we're dealing with, because that's the only way you can bring love and light to it. If you can take time with people you can trust to understand it, have that dialogue, that coitus, the Trina said at the start, because it's just such a relaxing space right now for me. Excellent. To be in this space after grounding, and be able to completely feel like we're acknowledging where we are at finally, because it's been something I've been having to be the party pooper a little bit, like this is great energy.
You're a pooper, I'm a pooper, she's a party pooper.
That's for me, that I think I can't do tarot, I can't do energy work any other way than honestly, because the equation doesn't work if you don't sort of be in a space right now that we're able to be so honest, so observant of what is going on, but at the same time anchor into that energy of I'm just feeling peace from this group right now. I'm absolutely in a zone, and I can't thank you and everybody and Trina and everyone in the chat for that, because this was much needed for me, and I think it must be for everybody else. It's been
me too.
I'm just at peace right now. I love it, and I really I'm just listening to you guys, appreciating it, and seeing the blurry, because I haven't brought my glasses again on the chat, but knowing the energy that's in there, because I know the energy that's in there. It's just such a wonderful space to be in, the territory that we're in right now, where there's not many safe spaces that you can be honest in, but also have a resolve to do something in. There's not many. This is
Well,
the
thank
one
you.
That's brought me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Gonna make me cry,
It's like me too, Jenny.
It's
you
like,
said
man.
It's so good. Me too.
Chris says, we are family. We are a soul family here. We really are. And I look at this. Rick, I saw that. So over on Mud Fossil, Jupiter is said that it's about to give birth to a new planet. Isn't that interesting?
That makes so much sense, because Jupiter's reign is over. It's just like when Saturn's reign was over. Jupiter's reign was over. The age of Pisces. We're entering Aquarius. There's going to be a new ruler, and that would be the giving the birth of the Christ child. That would make sense, because Aquarius, according to the Kali Yugas, we're going into the dark ages, but according to, the system, when you look at it, if Jupiter's giving up and it's coming into a new power, that would be a perfect representation of a birthing of a new sun, and that sun would be taking over new control of the system, and that was going to be our new sun. And that could be why we see signs that our sun is potentially dying.
Well, and this brings me back to Arthur C. Clarke's, 2010, the sequel to 2001. As you remember, they were going out to capture back the Jupiter mission. And as a result, that this transitional change as Jupiter became a new star. And It had 5 new planets. We were allowed, we couldn't touch Europa, I believe, if I'm right. And people will certainly correct me if I'm wrong. That's the thing about this group. You can't be thin-skinned. I mean, they do it in love, but hey, they're going to see,
Didn't they say Saturn was our sun at one time?
They did. Yeah.
And then it gave its power to Jupiter.
The Thunderbolts project, Alien Sky.
I wonder if the true Jupiter is actually our sun. And now the sun
I don't believe this sun is our true sun. I mean, if
it's not the same color, it's not
exactly. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm wondering.
I think that's a consciousness as well. I do. When you look at the light that we have, and I've spoken about this, the reason in magic I use candles and flame and dances, because I'm actually drawing energy from the element, from the fire, from the air that creates that fire. You actually use it to draw energy. Or I'll put my feet in water because I'm needing that energy to draw from. I try and get the physical representation or soil or sand to draw that energy for the magic that I'm doing. And so it makes sense to me that when a consciousness turned into sort of an LED linear 3D nightmare, because we changed all the lighting, we used to have candles in the house.
Yeah,
that was all
that's true.
We were giving that energy to the sun. We used to have a much more golden sun, but that's not when we had LED bulbs. So it all mirrors each other. All of these layers of reality mirror each other, which is why this Peace Day, going to plug it again, is so important. And why tonight is so beautiful, because you drop one bit of dye into water and it changes the color of the water. I'm telling you, I've spoken about this lots, that we affect the weather and we midwife the planet.
It's also the new moon.
We would see new solar systems this year. I know we're going to see new stuff. Exactly.
It's also the new moon.
Corresponding.
So 11/11/23 is 9.
Synchronicity and
yeah, new moon. So Jenny, I want to ask you something. So what is the energy of when you do with the cards, with the tarot? What is there any type of different type of energy?
Let's have a look. See, to be honest, when I've been doing readings, it's been pretty mixed. A lot of people get in the real raw messages of, look, you need to draw your energy in right now. You need to implode that energy. It's just so much drawing out of the people's energies, distractions, mess ups in the home, and really quite fiery energy, really short fused energy. Universally, things are just shifting and changing. I know time has changed. I know for a fact there aren't as many hours in the day as there was last year. Time and the calendar has changed, but they're keeping it's looking like it isn't. So
is it just me? But
people in a way, because they feel like
time is speeding up. I mean,
it is. It doesn't last long, and people are finding that too.
My wife and I discuss it because it's almost like I have this spatial awareness that something's wrong here. I mean, yeah, I know as you get older, the perception of time speeds up. But when I'm talking to 8, 9-year-olds they have the same type of feeling. I mean, yes. All right, that's telling me something like, oh, maybe it just ain't me.
Yeah, the kids are uneasy. The kids are very uneasy.
They are. Yeah. So what's the card today, dear? I saw you in there. I just want to.
For the Peace Day, let's see. For the Peace Day, we've got the 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So the 5 of Wands is that fire we were speaking about. It's change. It's the midpoint. It's action. This is conflict. It's conflict, but it's not a conflict that's bloody. It's a conflict that's energetically fueled. And so that's good. That's what we want. We want a 5-day. We're walking into chaos. So that's telling me I've pulled the right card for that day, the preparation of, you have your 5 Wands to go and fight the other 5 Wands kind of thing, or push them. We've got the Knight of Wands. So that's more fire. And so he's on his horse. He's holding out his wand. This is creativity, but the Knight of Wands is bringing messages forth too. It's a really personable energy. It's a really open energy. So that speaks to this group. And that's the energy I've felt all night, that we're able to exchange these messages in a very wonderful and stable way, because the Hierophant comes out next. Now he's number 5, Major Arcana. He's a bad boy in the esoteric, mesoteric, and exoteric layers of the realms. He gives all of the information. He teaches. You can see the monks there sitting down with their heads shaved, because that's the access point of that information. So that's 5. So we're bringing the Hierophant energy. So we're coming in with big guns, like we're coming in fast, fiery, but we're keeping it in the group. We're keeping it in The Hierophant only can speak to people who are of a level of understanding and understanding of themselves. The Hierophant information, when it goes out to the wrong people, religion's created. And we've seen what a nightmare that is. So this is our combating of that. This is the spirituality that they've sort of mimicked to create religion. So that's a real powerful card to get. I'm happy with that. The Queen of Cups comes as the next card and the last card. Now, this is a queen who sits on her throne, but she's completely in charge of that cup, and that cup represents emotions. She's got a sword of truth there, and she's completely open with her emotions, but she's also covered in them. She's sensible, she's royal with them. She knows where to give her emotions to and where not to. And she's on a throne, so she knows she's got a choice of where she puts that emotion. So for the peace day, that is so important that we can use this charged up emotion like a major boss, like the Hierophant and the fiery messenger of the Knight of Wands, and come in like all guns blazing. I love it. Good.
You know what I keep seeing? It's so amazing. I keep seeing exactly what Wayne is saying with the 1111. And it's exactly what the cards are showing. This is a gateway of creation, and we're getting ready to go through a portal. So we need to choose which portal we're going to go through based on the fire and the water that we're holding in our bodies, which is what's going on in your mind and what's going on in the emotions. And the Hierophant is the one standing between the two doors saying, are you going to go this way or are you going to go this way? But it's beautiful because it's about blending both of the energies into a balanced state is what I'm seeing. This is going to be the ultimate gateway, which is going to bring forth the mastery of the 22.
Well, the general energies day that I've cards pulled for the general energies that we would be facing and counteracting is the number 7, the 7 of Wands. And so the number 7 of Wands right now is Israel. It's very much a lot of the magic that's going on in the headlines about Israel is number 7. 7 is the spiritual plane, you know, it's those realms that you get into where and that's where we're going into. And there's ones flying everywhere. That's perfect. And then the Emperor is in reverse. Now, the Emperor is, you know, Big Daddy Saturn. He's the controller. He's the law. He's the Emperor, but he's in reverse. So we're going in, and you know, it's not pleasant facing an Emperor in reverse. Emperors are skilled at their game. They've gotten good at controlling what they control. This one's in reverse, though. So that actually gives us a little bit of an up, because right now, a lot of these emperors that are controlling us have got dementia. They've gotten so much power, they've actually gone crazy. They're upside down. They're not expecting this from the people. They're fooled into thinking more people are listening to them and believe in them, and they're not. So that's that's an up for us. That's a little bit of a tip, you know, before the race. The 4 of Swords. So this speaks to they're working in the spaces where we are feeling relaxed and meditative. They're disrupting those spaces that usually should be of the mind and of peace and 4, serenity, you know, the cube of us, the foundation. That's where they're working in the subconscious. So that's the energy that they're very much doing in a twisted, messed up way with that Emperor in reverse. And then we've got the Sage of Swords, but he's in reverse. So this just speaks to the type of narcissistic messaging, the magic alchemic messaging that's going out in all of the headlines right now. It's in reverse. This is nasty. And this is lots. So that's the energy we're walking into. But our energies are strong in those cards to counteract the exact opposite energy.
I just feel like I've been in an art museum seeing the newest work by Rembrandt, Jenny, as you were presenting that. It was beautiful, and it had such a synchronicity to it of relevance.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you're pretty good at it, chick.
Yeah, I should do it for a living, shouldn't
I? Moving right on along.
Next, introducing Trina.
So my dragon told me that the interesting thing about this group is that this group does have a vibration of its own. It's a unique vibration. And when we come together, it vibrates concentrically out. And there's probably more of us than what we realize.
Wayne, Aaron in the chat was saying, you guys are sending me a vibration. I love it. Thank you. So he was feeling that and you just said it.
Enjoy.
I love it. I love it.
It's that pebble in that lake, you know.
Yeah.
Skipping it.
So one of the things the dragon told me on Saturday's visit was that many of us are of the pure gold essence, but the dragon pointed out that when you find gold, it's always encased. There are those forces that try to keep it hidden, try to keep it down. And sometimes it's mere dirt and clay. Other times it is rock and stone. But the thing is that each one of us have this. And when we're broken free out of that, that's when our beauty shines in the essence of the desire for others to get to know us. So I thought it was an interesting metaphor.
It is, and it's
in the
so
Bible
true.
about liquid gold, like the streets of gold, but it's liquid gold and it turns transparent. Is there something in the Bible about that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The liquid gold is
that's like transparent.
The rivers of consciousness is what I see as the liquid gold, and it goes into the roots of the tree because our roots come out of our head. So think about it. It's like trying to see the invisible. That's why the gold is hidden, because it's part of the invisible. It literally is. So it would make sense. And it would be the reverse. The gold would be hidden deep, deep, deep in the earth because our roots are upside down. The tree, the brain is the root. So we have to go into our consciousness to get the gold. There's no,
and it's
gold
always done by force. It's struggle. It's compression. It's compaction. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I want to share this too. Saturday was interesting. So I'm beginning, and I'm laying this out there for everybody to hear, and I was telling Lynn, I'm beginning, I am beginning to have these flashes of when I came into this realm.
That's so
and
funny.
All I'm seeing right now is this huge explosion, this huge flash. And I'm lost in that. And it's weird because it came to me because I've been seeking this. I don't know if that's just my imagination or if that is exactly what happened to me coming into this body, into this realm. My consciousness just remembers this explosion of light. It was far greater than I could handle. And I don't know if I blacked out. I don't know what, but it's only a snippet. But I just wanted to share that with you too.
That's what I had when the Lord shoved me back in my body through my fontanelle. And when I was like, I'm not going, and he shoved me back in and he locked the door, and I heard it go kunk on top of my head. And it was the same thing. There was this light and this pressure and this magnetism, this crushing, and it was so overwhelming. It just knocked me unconscious, and it was lights out.
Yeah. Okay.
Similar. I'm like, I think you're right, Wayne. It might not be exactly the same time point when we came into the body, but I think you're right, because I saw the same thing. I was overwhelmed by the light and the magnetics and the crushing feeling of density. The density was so hard for my spirit to condense down, down, down. And it was like, once I realized I couldn't get back out, it was the overwhelming feeling. It was like, okay, knock her out. They just knocked me out. Boom.
Yeah, lights I get out. This distinct image of pure terror is what I when I meditate on this. I see this crushing light, and then I get this sensation of immense terror. I mean, I don't know.
I keep seeing, Wayne, and they keep showing me this, and I can't make a lot of
Mary wins
a presence out of it, but I keep seeing that we're in this. We're in the pyramid. That's what the Trinities are about, all the gods. We're stuck in a prism of light, and see the 7 rays come out of the clear, the invisible. That's us. We're doing this right now. So we're in a pyramid of light somewhere. In a pyramid of light, when you look at what is a pyramid is fire. So we are a pyramid of light.
Your candles, Jenny.
Yeah. Wands, that reading is full of wands, the Emperor's a wand type energy. And I've said it before, there's a reason that I keep hearing somebody, you know, is along the lines of Tesla, but he's not Tesla. But when they were wiring up the houses with electricity, it changed the electricity in the air. They were drawing it away from where it naturally was. And they had a huge change. They were seeing ghosts, they were having possessions, there was lots of chaos in that time when they first wired up factories and homes. And they knew, there's somebody, I wish I could find him, I see his face, I hear his voice saying, are you sure we should do this? Or, you know, we shouldn't do this. And I think that's happened with the internet. And I also think that's happened with light. So where we had that natural energy all of the time, we're already depreciated. Like we're already energetically, minerally depreciated. So we need to incorporate that too. We need to bring back, you remember, you didn't have bleaching lights when you were growing up as a kid. I had warm golden lights, you know, and in some places there was still flame in them, in the likes of London, you know, in the special ones. And it felt good. It was romantic. It was warm. It was kind to the eyes. Right now we're being bleached in a really false light in many different ways. So really finding, like Trina says, the fire, the warmth, the element, the soil, the physical representation of the element you're working in is so important, so important.
My brother and I worked in the garden all summer long down in Texas, and we never got burnt. We got beautifully brown. It's the best way to put it. Beautifully brown. Holy crap, where did the hour go? I mean,
it's fun.
It is fun. Wow. Well, ladies, this hour went that's what I'm talking about, this whole freaking perception of time. I mean, I get it that we're grooving on that on the same frequency, but wow, it really puts, you know, time, I guess, is relevant. I don't know.
I think time is a way for us to perceive creation. It's slowed down for us, and without time, we wouldn't be able to be in a material realm. But time literally is an illusion. So I think we're starting to realize how we can affect time, and time is based on too how you perceive time to be. So it's a conundrum.
I have a sense that we'll have our reunion on the other side. I know many of us have other missions to do and other things, but I do believe there is going to be this gathering.
I do too, Wayne. I do too.
I do.
My friend actually saw it. She saw it, and she saw it years ago, and it was a beautiful celebration, and it was like a banquet, and everything was white. The linens, everything was crystal and white, and everything, like I said, that harmony, that background symphony playing, and everybody was so excited to see each other, and it was a celebration of some type, and all she could say was it felt like a white wedding.
I have seen myself. I'm wearing this leather hat that I had. My hair is down to about here. I have a leather frayed jacket on with blue jeans and my blue suede boots. I've seen myself doing this, and I'm walking with someone, and she's got flowers all in her hair. She's got this dress that's in, and she's not wearing any shoes. So anyway, that's what I keep on seeing this. So I don't know.
That could be me. I'm always sticking something in my hand and taking the shoes off.
Hey, you got to look for something, right? I mean, come on. Well, folks, think about this. Give it meditative thought. Pray about it if you want. But, you know, if you feel inclined and you really feel that this is something that humanity can use right now, I think 11/11/23, a YouTube Day of Peace, Facebook, whatever. Let's make it a day of peace for all mankind. That's what. Pass it around, make it happen. Talk to those other channels, talk to them and ask them, say, listen, we need something other than what they're feeding us.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I got to tell you what, you know, I like certain foods, but if you're giving it to me all the time, I begin to hate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Screw that fear. It's bland
You put-
tasting. We got to
Well,
cook
yeah.
with garlic. You know what I'm saying? Get some
Oh,
onions,
I
put it in the
love it.
butter, and we kind of just, let's just go. Miss Ellie said, I saw the grilled cheese sandwiches, Lady Ellie. I could really use one.
Oh, that sounds good.
I mean, you think about a grilled cheese sandwich, with a bowl of hot tomato soup.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Tell me we're not gods.
You know something gross that I do? If I've got a good cheese, my mom goes mad. But if you're having a pajama day and you want to feel pajama-y, and so I get a bowl, I get a big bit of the cheese, like I'm talking about half of a block, and I melt it, and then I just sit with a fork and twist it and eat it. It's so greasy, it's so messy, but I love it. And I put it in for a little bit longer than it should be, so it's sort of gooey on the inside and really crisped up on the outside. I love doing that. So cheese isn't very safe with me. But
I love this. Oh, this is so cool. New Yoda said, I had tomato soup for dinner. Synchronous.
We made a
All
big
right.
batch of corned beef and cabbage with potatoes and garlic and carrots. And oh my gosh, it was so good. Onion. Oh my gosh, it was delicious.
I made
I
a
might
beef
go and see my
stew.
mom after this. She's got the nice cooking that I like. I might just pop in.
My wife said my latest batch of beef stew was, in a country fair. I would probably pull a blue ribbon on it. Who knows?
Oh, yum.
Yeah, I tell you what. And then you have hot sourdough bread. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
We were making pumpkin seeds.
Oh, yeah, I like those too.
Love that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Gaia, we
so
love you. Hey,
easy.
Lauren, much love. Lauren, we're just sending you and Eli just warm favor. Sweetie, we're going to miss you, but I have a feeling you're going to be tuning in. She just got married. Here, was it last week or September, I think. Yeah. So, Lauren, you got favor all around you. So you're just going to carry it and it's just going to expand. Ladies, thank you. This has really been, stay with me on this one. Jenny, love you, darling. Just, like a sister, just like Trina. Don't screw with my sisters. I'll kick your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Don't screw with my brother. I'll really kick your ass.
Yeah, that's even worse than me. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, my brother will testify. I beat up more boys protecting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where I fit in all this. That's where wisdom comes in, It's like, yeah, I'll stick up for them, but man, they're like two wildcats.
Right. Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah, I've seen a honey badger. That's what me and Trina would be like, a honey badger.
Yeah,
Look at honey badgers. They
exactly.
are tenacious.
Uh-huh.
They are tenacious.
Yes.
And they don't give up.
Why do I see that little 3-year-old girl and her mother's asking if the monster is out there? She's, I'm going to go kick their ass because they get in, they're going to kick mine.
That's what I did.
That's all I got to say. All right, everyone. Much love, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. All right.